hmm the Secretary of the Military Department with respect to an employee of the department, yeah, are inserted to preserve the application of the source law. Before enactment of the National Security Act Amendment of 1949, yeah, Department of Army, Department of Navy, Department of Air Force, and the executive departments of the National Security Act Amendments in 1949 established the Department of Defense. Yeah. As an executive department, including the Department of the Army, the Department of the Navy, yeah, Department of the Air Force as military departments, not executive departments. However, the source law, yes, for this section, which was in effect in 1949, remained applicable to the secretaries of the military departments by virtue of Section 12G of the National Security Act Amendments in 1949, which is set out in the reviser's notes for Section 301. Yes, the words of the federal government and not to have the same force and effect as oaths administered by officers having seals, yes, are omitted as unnecessary. You know these federal government employees, yeah, that have to do these oaths, yes. Well, one person administers and the other person swears. Yeah. I want to know if they were screwing each other before taking the oath. Well, secretaries of the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, and the National Guard. Yes. You individuals, yeah. I want to know the night before you did get sworn in, did you get screwed? Then in your minds, the oath that you're saying is not really you. Yes, it's the oath administered. Oh, well, let's say that I did want to know of every one of the employees of the Department of Defense. Yes. How many of you thought it was a big joke? Secretary of the Army. Yeah. hmm Um, did you? Well, I know how they do it. You just threw some memories at each other about different sexual experiences that you had. Yes. Then you decide to be on each other. Yes. And then the be on each other, which would be each other. Yeah. You decide to let each other talk through each other while at the same time not believing anything you were saying because of the government of the United States being so stupid. We are a dumb nation, aren't we, Secretary of the Army? Yes. Secretary of the Navy. Yes. Secretary of the Air Force. Right now. Secretary of the Department of Defense. Did you throw some sexual memories at each other right now? Well, as a nation, we must be complete idiots to think that when they do it here, you're not doing it there. Oh. Now, in subsection C, the word Constitution is omitted. Oh. You know, every time you took out the word Constitution from any federal laws, I want to know exactly who did it and where it was taken from. And for every time that you thought this Constitution was a big fun, excuse me, excuse me, you seem to be making these little tiny changes to.